for stopping by the studio. Uh, this is, well, it's a throwback Thursday. Got my little thing here. Let me just get my laptop and everything situated here, and we will get started. So this is my Throwback Thursday video. This is actually the one that needed to post back on Thursday, April 9th. However, it had lately there's been like crazy work weeks and all that. And I mean, the honest truth is when, getting up early and you've been going all day. I find that personally, it's like, when you get towards the evening hours, you kind of like start to shut down a little bit. And so that's kind of like what it's been like these past few weeks. The Thursday video not getting out there on time. My Friday night lives become Saturday night lives. And yeah, I gotta find a way to just be able to get it all done and have everything on time like it was for quite a while. But I still, instead of skipping the content, I still want to provide it to you. I do put it in my newsletter. It is in my planner, what I'm doing every Thursday, what I would do on my Fridays and all that. And I just want to keep up with all of that. So for this particular Thursday, the bundle that I am using is the Friendly Flamingo. Now, you would think that Friendly Flamingo should be a very, very easy bundle to work with, which it is. But I also love flamingos. So you would think that this would have been like easy peasy, one, two, three, and I would have had it. But it took a little bit. But the projects that I got, the two projects that I created with it, are pretty simple and not very, very time consuming to put together. So let's go ahead and get started. So, of course, when you use the Friendly Flamingo and you're doing anything with a flamingo, you got to have the Flirty Flamingo color. So my card base is, like I said, Flirty Flamingo. It measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Excuse me. I have a piece of lemon lime twist that's 5.25 by 4. And let me kind of get myself like a little bit situated and straighted. Okay, and straight is the word that I was going for. So again, lemon lime twist, 5.25 by 4. A piece of basic white that's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then out of a piece of basic white, I have already stamped my images. Now, the reason why I stamped my images ahead of time was because I like to save some time because stamp first, and then of course there's coordinating dies to die cut them. So we will still do a little bit of stamping and of course assembly of the cards. So for my flamingo, of course, Flirty Flamingo ink. These two little flowers right here. There's one stamp of the flower. However, in the set of dies, you actually have 3 dies to cut out the flower. So you can stamp a bunch and die cut a lot at the same time. So I have two flowers. These were stamped in Lemon Lolly ink and then die cut. This whole little greenery thing going on here, this was stamped with Granny Apple Green. And then there is a set of these 3 little flowers. Those were stamped in Summer Splash. So Summer Splash is it's a current in color until I believe May 4th. And then after that, it's actually considered retired. Uh, this particular ink color, the ink pad is still available. It is on the last chance list and it may be discounted. I'm not 100% sure, but at the time of me filming this, this is Sunday, April 19th, just a little behind, 10 days later. But the ink pad is still available. So I like to look at Summer Splash as being a little bit darker than Coastal Cabana. Originally, I thought I did grab Coastal Cabana, but I thought that would look a little bit dark, and it wasn't until I kind of did my write-up that I realized, oh, that's because you didn't stamp it in Coastal Cabana. You stamped it in Summer Splash. So either way, nice bright colors. They all work together. So we're all good with that. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. Now, like I mentioned, this particular Throwback Thursday was supposed to post on Thursday, April 9th. Of course, now it's the 19th and I'm filming this. But also, I do want to make mention that uh, the following Thursday, so this past Thursday, which let's see, 19, 18, 17, 16th, that one's coming too. I'm actually going to film that and then post it after I do this one. So stay tuned. So there's another one that's coming, and that one I'll be using, what am I using? The Ridiculously Awesome stamp set. That was a stamp set that Rhonda Wade achieved. That's her $1 million Achievers stamp set. When you when you are $1 million excuse me, achiever, as a demo with Stampin' Up, one of the things that you get to do is design a stamp set. So kind of exciting. I am a long way from that happening. So, oh, there's the thing. Okay, I couldn't find it before, but my little thin cellophane piece that goes to the stamp set. Okay, all right. So from this, I want to pull out the greeting that says, "Hoping your day is as amazing as you are." And I'm going to get my block, get this one, and our Summer Splash ink. And I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp that right up here in the upper left-hand corner like so. And it's pretty inky when it looks like that, but this is going to dry a little bit lighter. So, but you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to get a spoon, take the back of a spoon. I'm going to kind of press that ink in there. And I got a chamois over here that's wet enough that I can clean this really quick. Squeak, squeak. And let's go ahead. Let's take this and we're going to flip this over and we're going to stamp this again. And we'll stamp that right there. Much better. Okay. All right. So let me put that aside. Move that. We're going to take our white panel here and we're going to adhere this to our piece of lemon lime twist. And there's going to be just a small little border around my basic white. And then we'll adhere this to our card base. Some bright, summery, tropical looking colors here. Love it. Okay, so then I'm going to take my Flamingo now. With the stamp set, as you can see, the tip of my Flamingo's beak is Flirty Flamingo. However, flamingos have black on the tip of their beak, so I'm going to come in with my basic black Stampin' Right marker. Now, the Stampin' Right markers, I think they may be completely gone now. So, Stampin' Up had decided that they were discontinuing making the red rubber stamps. And so the Stampin' Write markers, what was great about those was that you could actually color on your red rubber stamps, and you can do it in different colors. But since now they're just kind of discontinuing those those stamps, they discontinued the Stampin' Write markers. So right now the markers that they do have are the Stampin' Blends, which are their alcohol markers. And alcohol markers, you cannot do that technique on coloring on your stamps with alcohol markers. So that's the only markers that we currently have right now. All right, so now that I've colored the beak, now they do have a black marker. It's more like of a journaling pen that is available. I believe that, I don't know if it's going to be in the new catalog coming up. Speaking of catalogs, Stampin', we're no longer going to be doing like an annual catalog, so one that goes for the whole year, and then like two minis. Instead, they're going to do three catalogs a year. Each catalog is going to, um, hold on, let me explain what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my flamingo and I'm going to place my flamingo right here. Just stick that down. And then I'm going to take this greenery piece, I'm going to pop it up right over the bottom of his legs or her legs. And then I'm going to add the flowers on top of that. So the catalogs, going back to about the catalogs. So the catalogs are now going to come out 3 times a year. Each catalog is going to be about 84 pages, and in there it's going to have a lot of the staple stuff, like the cardstock and the inks and the papers and some sweets and bundles and all that. So it's kind of like a mini annual catalog. That'd be like the best way to kind of describe it. But every 4 months there's going to be a new catalog, and some of those things are going to carry over into that catalog. Some of those things will shift over to online exclusives. Online exclusives is still going to be a thing. So with that being said, I do have some of those new catalogs. So if you are here in the US, if you're not working with another demonstrator in which you're ordering from, my email is in the description. Feel free to reach out. Again, include your whole name and your mailing address, and I'd be more than happy to get one out in the mail to you. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up and place this right over the base of my flamingo's legs. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm going to add them onto these flowers. Now this little one is only going to take like a mini one. So let me grab my sheet with my mini dimensionals on it. I find it's a little bit easier to handle and place the small ones using my Take Your Pick tool. So I'm going to put a mini one on each of those flowers, and then I'm going to place one right here on that little cluster of those summer splash ones. Let me quickly close my ink, my glue, so that doesn't dry out. All right, so now I'm just going to take these flowers and I'm going to pop them up right on top of the ones that are stamped in that image. I'll just place them right over that. And now these are a little bit bigger than these, but you can still cover that up. So we'll come in and we'll kind of go over like that. Now I'm going to add, let's see, I'm going to add some embellishments. And for this, I'm going to go with our rhinestone basic jewels. These have been around for a while. What I like about our rhinestones, they seem to be like extra, like they look like little diamonds. And I like the way that they shine. So on here on this sheet, what I got left are the medium sized ones and the small ones. So you can see there's like 3 different sizes here. So I'm using up what's on in this particular package. So my 2 flowers here are going to get these little small ones, and then my medium one I popped up there, because when you have an odd number of embellishments and then you put it in like a triangular formation, it's pleasing to the eye. So there we go. So there is the first card. Just very, once you do the stamping and you die cut, you know, the pieces out, if this was a card that you want mass produce, once you stamp and die cut, assembly goes very, very quickly. Okay, so there is our first card. Our second card, so in the set of dies, there is a die that will die cut the stamped image, but then there's also a die that will die cut pieces to where you can build your flamingo. So my card base is basic white thick, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of Flirty Flamingo that's 5.25 by 4. This designer series paper, this is the Tropical Escape 6 by 6 designer series paper. In here is basic black, blushing bride, granny apple green, shaded spruce, and whisper white. So this pattern has like shades of granny apple and shaded spruce. That's the, what do you call it, blushing bride. So this particular piece measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Then I had used, now these have been gone for a while, the layering oval set of dies. Even this is the really like really old packaging. So with the largest scallop and then the solid oval that will fit into that, I have die cut that. So the scallop is in basic black and then the solid is in basic white. Then out of basic white, I die cut this little scalloped label. This comes from the Stitched So Sweetly set of dies. These two were very, very popular a few years ago, and they have long since retired. So we have a little white one. I got little bits here from when I die cut, just kind of like little threads that come off the edge. Then I had die cut this is the solid flamingo, that the other die that you can die cut. So with this one, you actually can build your flamingo. So this is at, of course, at a Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So it does die cut the little that little eye out. So what I had done, that little piece did not go to waste. I basically took my black marker and I just put the tip on that little tiny piece to make the eye black, and then I kind of put it back in place, and then I added a little mini dimensional to hold that piece in place. So then there's 2 different wings. You kind of have like your solid wing, and then there's one that's a little bit smaller that has some detail on it. So the smaller detailed one was done in Flirty Flamingo, and then this larger one was done in Calypso Coral. All right, so now let's get this all put together. So I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. Excuse me. Okay. And then I'm going to take my designer series paper And I'm going to adhere that to my Flirty Flamingo piece. And again, on this one, there's going to be just a little border of that Flirty Flamingo. Okay, and then we'll adhere this to our card base. Make sure that my cellophane's on that roller. Okay, and then place this, center this, like so. Okay, then I'm going to take my basic white circle here, and I am going to adhere this to my piece of basic black, my scalloped oval. And we'll just kind of line that up so we kind of got like an even amount of those scallops showing from the back. So we got that centered on there. And then we'll take this and we'll adhere this to the center of our card base. Bring that in and kind of see if we're center with it. Like so. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of my flamingo. So we'll take a small one, kind of put this there, and then a couple of larger ones right there. Now for the feet part, because we don't have anything going over that to kind of hold them down, I don't want them to be you know, not adhered down, because they will easily snag on something and they could end up tearing. So this is where this was a sheet of the mini dimensionals. And so even though you use all the little hexagon shaped ones, the edge pieces of the edge piece that's on here, it works great. So this one was from the mini, and I'm just going to take and just like kind of cut a strip, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this in half, cut it in half, and went flying, and I'm going to take the tip of my take your pick tool, and let's see, we're going to take this and we're going to add this to the 1 foot, and then we'll take this one and we'll place this right there. Okay, so let's take the paper backings off. Take it off there. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, so it is Sunday, like I mentioned, that I'm doing this. So today is basically a day to get everything caught up. So yesterday morning I got up, I designed the projects for, so we're going to kind of like center this, like so. I'm kind of looking at the leg. I want the leg straight. Kind of press that down. Okay, and then we're going to take these, the wings. I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to glue this on top of my Calypso coral piece. So I got up early yesterday, and I worked on these projects to get them done. I worked on the other Thursday, so what would have been this past week's Thursday, and I got those all done. The only thing I had left to do was just to film, but then I also needed to get the projects done for my Saturday Night Live, and for that one I did the cutest bugs suite. The projects came out absolutely adorable. So that is actually already posted out on YouTube. One of the things I also do with my Friday Night Live / Saturday, if I don't do a Friday, I create a PDF of the project. So there's pictures, a list of supplies, the dimensions, and then there's even in the date, it's linked to the actual video, so you can go back and you can follow along with the video. So the PDF is something that I'm still working on. I figured let me get everything filmed and then I can go and do all the administrative parts that are needed. So yeah, so a lot of stuff that I'm getting caught up and looking to get done today. So then I can start planning for this upcoming week. So this upcoming week is going to be a busy week work-wise, but also a friend is coming into town on Wednesday, and her birthday is uh, 28th, I believe. And so her and then my assistant and other friend, Yvonne, we're going to celebrate our birthdays together, even though mine was all the way back in February, but we're going to kind of celebrate them together. And actually, next Saturday, what day is next Saturday? Can't tell you at the moment. It's the 25th, I think. We're going to go live that evening. So definitely not doing it Friday. We're going to do it on Saturday, and she's going to be my guest stamper. So, what's fun about my lives when I do my Friday night or if it's Saturday night, I also do a card giveaway. So, the cards that I make in that video, we do a wheel of names type of thing, and you could win one of the cards that I made. So, she's going to be the guest stamper, and we're going to be using scalloped wishes. She loves dragonflies, so yeah, so those are going to be the projects that are going to be for that Saturday night. So be sure to join us. It's gonna be fun. All right, so for my little greeting that I'm going to put on here, I'm going to go with Your Outstanding. And I am going to stamp this in Calypso Coral ink. I just love anything tropical. I love things nautical. Of course, I love my flamingos. I love peacocks too, and I love lighthouses. All right, so this greeting is just going to fit right in that little scallop piece right there. All right, so we're just about done. So let's move that out of the way. I'm going to take a couple of dimensionals and put it on the back of this piece. And we'll pop that up on the card. And we're going to place this right about there. Okay, and then for this one, we're going to add some rhinestones as well. So I'm going to bring in my smaller ones. And I'm almost done using up this package. And we had one there, and then one more right up there. Okay, so there is the second one. So this is the using the die that you know what? There was one thing that I needed to do. We should be able to do this if I'm very careful. So there is like an embossed line. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but there is like a little embossed line there for the beak. So I'm going to follow that and make the tip of the beak black. Now I would like to get the edges of it. However, I should have done that before I put it down, and I don't want to get, it's hard to see this. I just don't want to get ink on the white. And I Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay, there we go. Now my flamingo's complete. So this is the one where I use the detail dies where you can build and create your flamingo. And then on the first one, we stamped our flamingo and we die cut it. So there are the projects for my Throwback Thursday for April 9th using the Friendly Flamingo bundle. Now the whole idea of my Throwback Thursdays is it's retired products. So this bundle, this paper, these dies, they have been gone for quite a while. So the only way I think you'd probably be able to find it is if, maybe someone's selling it on, maybe eBay or Etsy or um, even like Splitco Stampers. That's a Stampers community. It's free to sign up for that. They have a lot of forums, a lot of like card challenges that they do on a daily basis. When it first started, it was all about Stampin' Up products. So there's actually galleries, all these different stamp sets. There's like people have created and they posted pictures. Some of them have included the supplies that they used. If you need inspiration, that's a very wonderful site. They also have a forum, a buy, sell, and trade forum on there. So a lot of times, people will be selling, crafting supplies and things like that, old Stampin' Up sets and things like that. So I do have a profile out there at the bottom, well, just above, like the bullet point, just above the list of supplies is the link that will take you to the website. Again, it is free to join and create a profile. You can upload things that you have created. It's a pretty big deal. So if it sounds interesting to you, go ahead and check that out. And it's possible that maybe somebody is selling this bundle. I can tell you over time, I probably will be selling some stuff because I have a lot. However, my flamingos aren't going anywhere. So if you like the projects that I made, please give the video a thumbs up. Know that uh, the thumbs up, the comments, the shares, all of that, subscribing, all of that helps me in building my YouTube channel. It gets my videos out there for other paper crafters to see. It not only, like I said, it not only helps with growing this channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up business, and I truly appreciate it. So that's all I have for this one. Stay tuned. I will be recording the Thursday video that was supposed to happen a couple of days ago. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be using the ridiculously awesome stamp set for that one. So until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.